What's up, y'all? Welcome to Shaken and Stirred. I'm your host, Kristin, and I'm joined by Lila.
Hey y'all, hey, that's me, that's me.
I am really excited. I was working on the magazine like all day yesterday, all day the day before. It was Saturday night. I was emailing the girls at like 9 o'clock, and I'm thinking, there's no way anybody is going to get these right now. But it had to get done, and just feels so good to get it all out. Like I can't express to you. I got the website up today.
It looks good.
Big snap, like not a snafu, but end goal for the website is for it to be housed on a different platform than I have ever used before. But that's because, we need room for growth, and it would just allow us to do different things with the articles and the content digitally. And right now I have other things worked out for it that I think are going to be maybe even cooler than having it be on a website. So we'll see. I'm going to get ahead of myself. But just know QR codes are part of the plan. What are we doing today? We're talking about what? Tell me.
No, I was just about to say, y'all, I don't think you guys understand what a vision is coming to life here. Like, this has been going and talked about and discussed, and she is just the mastermind. And if it's doable, she's going to figure out how to do it. And if it can be done, it's going to be done by her. So it's just insane to see this amazing vision that just started off, as kind of an idea like, oh, should I not? Right. I mean, not crazy, but it was like, okay, because Kristen does a million things every day, all the time in 46 different areas. And so, like, I knew you'd do it, but how it's turning out and how it's coming to it's just insane. I'm so excited about this.
I just think nobody could envision it. And not that they couldn't envision it, but it almost seemed like too large of a task, which I get that, but I've done those before. So it's always just kind of like, okay, well, how do you do this one? But yes, it is coming together exactly like I want it to. It is so far everything I want it to be. The girls involved, obviously I could go on and on. We are going to today talk about the girls that are contributing in the articles that you will see in the first issue. Magazine is quarterly. I know we've touched on that before, but quarterly for me feels manageable. And when you say I do a lot of things, I do. I have the race team, which I have delegated some responsibilities there, thank the Lord. And Gabe and I have just, chosen which ones those would be. And he's done the same for himself. We as you grow, you have to do those things. And we made those changes, thank God. And then,
but I mean, that's a good sign. Yeah. When you have to bring on help, that means you need it because you're growing and expanding and, this is life. Yeah, so that's a good sign.
Absolutely. So with Tomboy and the magazine, I mean, I think everybody could imagine at the beginning, the whole idea for the magazine was for it to be Tomboy. But as I just was thinking and getting more into everything and the ins and outs of it, this just seemed like a better route. So it might seem like a different thing I'm doing or a new thing or whatever, but it's all kind of the same thing. It's all content. It's all just in how it's packaged and where you put it and who's a part of it and things like that. So yeah. I mean, I honestly, I just really thought it would be cool to have my girlfriends and I like do a bunch of cool stuff together. And this was a fun way to get everybody involved and have a reason to talk. And I don't know,
give people a voice. It's like we have a voice, but this is a collective voice. It's a collective platform. It addresses so many different issues and topics, and it's not a one size fits all. This magazine isn't just a fashion magazine. It's not just a fitness magazine. It's not just, a health and wellness magazine. There's things about everything, and it gives people such a place to sit down and go through the journey.
Yep.
So
for me,
I love it.
In my mind, let me back up. I never specifically wanted it to be a women's magazine or a magazine for women. I wanted it to be created by women, but with topics and subjects that were intriguing and interesting enough that a guy would pick it up if he was sitting at the hair salon waiting on his barber to cut his hair and it was sitting there.
I mean, have you seen the cover though? Like, men are going to pick it up regardless.
Well, and also,
like, oh, wait, what is this?
And also, I think that was another side of it because for me, I think I've described it a few ways to other women that I've, talked to being involved or what have you about it. Thinking of it in terms of a maxim, but for women, created by women. So that vibe and that tone, and we're touching on topics that might be a little more taboo and like I don't even know if I mean, you could talk about weird shit in Cosmo too. So
Right.
for me, I just feel like it's our perspectives and the women that are creating it. And I think because there's not, I mean, we're not going to be packed with like fashion ads and Ralph Lauren perfume ads. That
Right.
alone will set it apart, as well as the photos we contribute, which I sent a photo to you, my dear.
Mhm.
You felt like it was, it was kind of in line with what we're looking for, right? We
Absolutely.
want to like
Pushing the
toe the
boundaries just
line.
enough.
I want to tiptoe the
Just
line
push, little boundary push
and
there, but
keeping it artistic and just really a celebration of the female form, whatever that means. A girlfriend
right.
of mine, I asked her if she would let me take her photo, and she said, "Well, just remember, I have robotic parts. She's diabetic. She has a pump." And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "No, in my mind, the pump is kind of like the star."
Right.
Because it's what makes her different. It's what shows a bit of her story and what she deals with on a day-to-day basis. It
Absolutely.
shows how strong she is. Like, I feel like that is what makes her hot, kind of. I mean, she's beautiful, but
Right. She
the reality and like the realness of her temperament and her character, that she's got to carry that every day, because that's tough. That's having diabetes since childhood, or, that type of
Yeah.
diabetes, because type 2, we're not going to get into that, but you know what I mean? It's just tough. And she's a badass. She's educating people about it. She's always posting on social media things that are happening with the diabetic drugs, and when there's shortages, and the things that she deals with and goes through when she can't get the things that she needs to regulate her blood sugar. And it's a daily thought and stress that she has in her mind. So I think that's something that makes her beautiful.
And it keeps things real. It keeps things realistic instead of this world of fake everything where everybody's life is perfect and everybody's body's perfect. And, it's like, yeah, she's a badass bitch. She has diabetes. She's living with it. There's other people out there like her. It shouldn't stop you. It shouldn't hold you back. It shouldn't keep you from feeling like you're not good enough. Because at the end of the day, she is beautiful. And it's nice to showcase reality. I think we've lost touch with reality in today's world a lot. And I think little things like that is like, this is still real life. That's real life,
Yeah, I think it's
you know?
cool. So yeah, that's my plan for that. And that section of the magazine, it will be, right now I have drawings, I have photographs. Depending on the issue, it will just be laid out how I see fit. I'm not putting too many parameters around it. I have certain things that I want to get photographs of personally. I have had a couple of girls ask if they could submit photos. Absolutely. Depending on how it lays out, I might make it a completely different thing where it's its own little feature. If it's a female that has submitted her photos, or I have taken their photos, that is going to be a big deal. Personally, I'm going to make it a big deal in the magazine, because to me, that's trust. We want to make sure that it's special, and it's not just thrown in a section with a boudoir photo from a like a
Right.
sketch you took with your girlfriends at the paint and sip or whatever.
Not the paint and sip. I want to go to a paint and sip. I was thinking about that the other
Well,
day.
they have
I
one
think they're
downtown that
fun.
you can go to, and you don't need an appointment. Oh,
Nice.
but it's pottery. It's not paint. You paint the pottery. Same thing, right?
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Kinda. You're painting.
eh, you're using a
You're
paintbrush.
using a paintbrush.
Right.
So I wanted to go over a few of the girls and starting with the wellness section, because it's kind of divided into two sections in my mind. There's like a lifestyle aspect and then the wellness aspect,
Mm-hmm.
because no matter what I do, I can't get away from the wellness aspect. Like, I just know too many girls from it and for it and with it, and it's just what it is. But there's just a part of me that strongly wants the other aspect, with the lifestyle and the travel and the tech and arts and
Yeah.
entertainment and movies, concerts, whatever. So we have these two women that are involved. They have a company or an online nutrition coaching business, and they live in South Florida. They are so cool. They are a mother or a stepmother daughter combo, Yanni and Shayla, and they work together. They have a really cool perspective, I think, because they both competed, but they both kind of feel like it's not for them after I think they did one or two, which is totally understandable. And then not Yanni, but Shayla's parents, both of her parents are IFBB pros. Her dad's a pro bodybuilder and her mom was a pro fitness competitor. So she also grew up in it, which can be its own little weird thing to have to navigate.
Right.
But they wrote contributed a really cool article about habit stacking, and it's cute. We've got it all laid out like a pizza diagram, and they have these photos that they're all wrapped in white towels and the pizza, and it's just so visually pretty. And just like, I love the contrast of the red on the pizza and the pepperonis and the white towels. It's just very sharp. And that's probably one of my favorite sets of photos that are in the magazine. I'm excited that they're a part of it. We have a article about adaptogens. I had to get to it. An article about adaptogens that a woman, Lilla, and I actually went to high school and middle school with.
Yeah.
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 And Meredith. I love this so much.
Yeah. I love it.
And the reunion is this year, the 25th year reunion. I need to invite you to
Y'all, 25 years. Yeah, I'm in it.
Are you okay?
I'm in it. Yeah, girl. 25 years ago, we graduated. God. And here we are.
So Kristin wrote a really cool article about adaptogens. And adaptogens, if you don't know, are excellent for stress and anti-aging, and they have calming.
Overall wellness.
Yeah, just really,
literally overall wellness.
The more we are learning about them, the more we know they're just badass little fungi.
Right. It's like yoga for your insides, literally.
So she wrote an article about adaptogens and the best uses for which ones. And I've got cool graphics to go with that I'm excited about. Kristin has got a cool story because she came into nutrition coaching later in life. I want to say it's been within the decade, but maybe like 5 to 10 years. She started doing this, and I saw her at the gym all the time when I worked at Forest Drive Golds, when it was still Golds. And, we would wave and chat or whatever, and I'd see her at Irmo. And actually her husband worked out at the gym. So I would see him all the time. And then when I saw they got together, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But when I started doing this, I'm like, I see her promoting herself all the time. She's putting out excellent content. She's very educated. She's educated herself. She's taken all the right classes. She's learned all the right things. She's been obsessed over the right things. And I just like how she relays the information. So that was like a no-brainer that I would ask her to be involved. And then Meredith, I just think Meredith what she's got going on is very cool with her and her partner. Her partner, Sarah, is just like, they're freaking awesome. I don't even know what to say.
Right.
Talk to them. They're so positive. They're like, yes, we're on board. We think this is badass. We support everything you do. They are almost always they're both the first ones to respond to emails or like send in a draft or photos or whatever it is. So I just am really excited that they're excited. I love their message. They're super intelligent about nutrition. And it's one thing to be able to coach people. Or it's one thing to know the information that people are looking for you to teach them or coach them on. But it's a completely different one to know how to coach actual people and women. Women are tough, man. And not
especially
any
because
fault of their own. We just have so many systems that you have to check off that as a coach, y'all, I did it for years, 20 years. There's just so many
Meredith does do a lot of stuff. Right. And she does a lot of stuff with perimenopause and menopause. And that just adds a whole other layer. Like, take away from the fact that a woman's body reacts to everything. Our stress levels are everything around us. If we're having our bad day, our body is storing fat and processing calories in a different way than if we're having a good day. And yeah, she does an amazing job addressing that and helping women who are dealing with things that we can't avoid. Yep. That's the thing is, it's not even like, oh, she's dealing with, bodybuilders that choose to go down that route. She is dealing with topics that no woman on this planet, unless you are set up differently, are able to avoid. And it's phenomenal. Like the work she's doing is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
And she's just so cool, y'all. She's the sweetest person. Side note story, I tried out, remember High Steppers? So, y'all, I got a little rhythm and a little cushion in my tushin, and I was like, I can dance. So me and Meredith, during lunch, we used to sneak down to the, like downstairs next to the gym, there were those stairs. And they would always leave the door open during lunch. So Meredith and I would go down there, and she was trying to teach me how to step or move.
Love it.
Meredith is a dancer. I am not. I can dance in a club setting, cannot do that. But I tried, honey. I tried. And she taught me what she could. Bless her heart. Thank you, Meredith, to this day. And then when I went to tryouts, during the middle of the tryout, I don't even know how this happened, but my toenail stabbed through my flesh and there was blood pouring out of my shoe. I kept trying to go. But about 15 minutes into the tryouts, I was like, this is not a place for me. And then my toe happened and I was like, thank you, God, for giving me a reason to not continue embarrassing myself. So I left. But thank you, Meredith, to this day for helping me with my dream.
So funny.
Yeah. Yep. We used to practice during lunch.
I love that
next to the stairs
so much. Well, if you had been a high stepper, then we would have been at the basketball games together because I was the sting man.
Girl, I was not high stepping then. I can high step it right through the club.
Speaking of high steppers,
let me do it.
You remember Courtney Turner? I
Yes.
don't know what just made me think about this, but holy mackerel, if she has just not gotten more beautiful and like as the older she gets. I love it. Every time I see her, I'm like, backwards. Oh my gosh. So
like, how are you this beautiful?
So sweet. And I'm really trying to get Lauren King. I messaged her, but I want to do something with Lauren. So I've been trying to get her.
She's another one that just ages backwards and like, how can anybody be any more phenomenal? Right.
Okay. So that's Meredith and Sarah. Sarah is Meredith's partner. She's younger. I say that. I think she's younger. She looks younger. I don't know.
These days, who knows, right?
Morgan Payne is phenomenal. She's a fireman. She's a physique competitor. She has one of the most ridiculous physiques that has ever competed. Going to school to do skincare and injectables and things like that now. So she just is like, I just think she's a badass. So she came to me with this idea about doing an article about nicotine and the therapeutic benefits for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and some of the research they found for it and things like that in non-inhalable devices. I'm not entirely... Yes. I thought it was a cool idea, especially with just the evolution of the nicotine. I mean, we've gone from cigarettes and tobacco to pouches and vapes and tobacco-free pouches, and now there's a nicotine spray.
Right.
So it's like that the delivery of the nicotine is obviously the most important part. I said, go for it. And she did an entire article about the therapeutic benefits and the potential of nicotine as a medicine. It's really interesting. It's one of the first ones that I laid out, and I love so much all the tobacco leaves on it. Right. I still might change it. It might.
Well, you're moving things around.
I may have evolved from beyond this since I created it. So maybe I'll start over, and if it does look better, I'll do that, but we'll see. Okay, so Logan is a local yoga instructor, Lululemon ambassador, all around badass. She does in-person classes, online classes, private classes, small group trainings. She has a swimming background. She was on the team at USC. She is like walking sunshine and joy. I mean, she's always smiling. She has the most beautiful, joyful grin. Like, you cannot be in a bad mood around her. She is like the actual sun. There's so much warmth radiating.
Just the sun. Yeah.
Just her energy and she's so fun to be around. And she's good about like matching your vibe too. So she's not going to be like overly positive if you're kind of chill and, you know, it's rainy outside and we're all having a laid, chill vibe. She's going to roll with it, but always positive. She has the most experience when it comes to going to retreats and destination exercise related, like fitness destination places. She's led a few retreats with yoga, Pilates, that kind of thing, and like large retreats with lots of women. We used to teach at a studio together that's downtown called Studio Fire, and she basically organized a bunch of their retreats, and she's cool. So she's got a really cool article about different places to take, your family, your friends. If you just want to go by yourself, get your Zen on,
Right.
Yeah.
My friend did a week in India at a silent yoga retreat, a week. Sorry, it was 6 days. And that, I don't know if I could do it, but it was amazing for her. I feel like there's so much out there. Just, I don't know about India though. That's a ways away. Well, we were on the other side of the world then,
It
but
is.
I'm such a fan of people just doing, like if that's what you need, if you need to go and be silent for a week and reset your mind and soul and body, do it. Like,
Yep.
but
Yeah, for sure.
so that's amazing. She does all that.
So Adrian is next. Adrian wrote or put together a piece about tech neck and how to avoid it from a personal trainer slash bodybuilder slash competitor, like slash all around physical person. She's like a little ninja turtle. And this is not me patting myself on the back. This is just personal experience. She's one of the only people I met that grows muscle as quickly as I do. She's just a powerhouse. I freaking love Adrian. I've known Adrian for years now. I helped her get ready for a couple shows. They weren't her first shows, but I got her ready for a couple shows. Met her family, love everybody in her family. Her sister's really cool. Her sister helps at the shows. Adrian trains other people. She has a couple of babies now. How many are we on? 3? I'm embarrassed. I'm gonna have to check my numbers. She just keeps popping them out. But I asked her if she wanted to contribute because I wanted her involved. And this was what she came up with. I loved it. We all deal with it. We all need a reminder every now and then. She has a beautiful look and physique and everything about her. So I'd love to take her photos for the magazine for this article. And that's kind of our plan right now. But yeah, Adrian is really cool. So I'm excited. I think she's in that phase of life where she enjoys training enough that she continues doing it, but the business side of it isn't necessarily her focus because she's in the middle of all these toddlers and babies and nipples and boobies and all that. You know what I mean? But I'm so happy that she said that she would do it. She's extremely intelligent and it was fun having her involved. Kristin Zeismer is an actual registered dietitian. I feel like I need to say that because, you don't have to be one in this state to tell anybody what to eat, which is crazy. But she actually can tell you, and by law is able to prescribe you meal plans. And she did a really cool article because she has a podcast herself. I'd really like to have her on. And she's trying to highlight different aspects of her personality and her coaching, that kind of thing. So she did an article about balancing work and wellness and how you can incorporate your meal plan and plan for your meals and your snacks while trying to balance all these things you want to do, which is what I feel like we're all trying to do.
Right.
When we remember to eat, most of us. But, there's great ideas in here. I'm looking at it now. I got it all laid out. I think it looks great so far. I'm showing you. Can you see it?
Now we can see it. There you go.
I really want them to see it, but I don't think I can prevent them from seeing it. And it's ended up being really large. So I'm even thinking about trimming it and using some of it for the next one. I wanted to talk to her about that first. But I thought it would be hard to get content. And these girls are like, hey, I sent that one, and then the other one is coming this day. It's just really cool. I think it's really cool. My friend Mandy contributed a article about parenting and like not so gentle parenting. The actual title is The Art of Not So Gentle Parenting. And just how you need to be firm, but you can't be their buddy, but you can't be, hard on them. I think she's a fabulous mom. I'm excited for everybody to read that. It was fun laying it out with the kids and all. Although I have questioned how much of that should be in there. So with that wellness aspect, we have a recipe coming from my girlfriend, Lauren Valentino at Holy Fueled. She and her partner, Taylor, have a really cool program where right now they're getting ready for their Bikini Bod Blitz launch. And they get women in ridiculous shape. They've got a cool program. My friend Lauren Valentino is a nutrition wizard, okay? When it comes to bodybuilding especially, but when it comes to the female body, she is so intelligent, intuitively knows, but can tell by looking at your body, you had too many carbs yesterday, we need to do something different tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, it's insane. And y'all, I got to brag on this girl. She helped me get ready for a show in 2016 and did a show the same morning that I was competing and handle not only what I was doing in my schedule, my tan, where I was, checking on me, asking her, are you good? Which I don't really need that. But obviously it's very nice that she did it. We were in different states. She was getting ready to get on stage too.
Wow.
She's doing her own stuff, looking in the mirror. No. Yeah. So she just is really cool. She's very smart. She's ran and owned a lot of businesses. Her partner Taylor has been on the Food Network and that the cake show.
Cake Boss?
No, it was another one where they trying to find the best cake maker. I'll have to find out the details. Honestly, it might not even be cakes at this point. I'm questioning life. But she's cool. They're both gorgeous. Just they glow. All of you glow. Like I can't put there's no other word for it, but I picked women that glow. And it's kind of like, I guess it's just the nature of y'all's magnetism. You just drew me to you.
And you are very, very intentional about who you have in your life and who you have around you, and the people that, fill your bucket, and those that don't get to stay to empty it. I feel like you are probably the most intentional person I know with the people that surround you and the people you're involved in. And I think we could all learn from you on that. But yeah, so we're all amazing.
Basically,
if we're here, we're amazing.
I didn't even touch on my girlfriend Jade, who is like totally dealing with being a brand new mom right now, and also an SEO wizard. She's amazing. She wrote an article about being a brand new mom and how it's just not what they tell you it is, and it's different, and it's great, but it's different. And I think everybody needs to hear those things every now and then, whether they have children or not. Help you sympathize with somebody else, or it could help you decide if you want that for yourself, or it could show you exactly the window into your future and what you do see for yourself. So I just am excited by the variety that we have. This is just like touching on what I've already have that has already been submitted. There are other articles that I've spoken to with girls that when they come in, I'll be ready for them. But I've kind of from the beginning had to go into this thinking, well, maybe I'll have to write that myself. It might be a 32-page magazine
from you to you.
Like the minimum it can be to be a magazine to print or for print based on this website that I'm using is 32 pages. So I've been like looking at other magazines and I'm like, well, how many is that? Like peeling it back and touching it.
Like, how do I want this to feel in my hand?
Right now it's looking like it's going to be, 100 plus, but I'm also putting artwork in it. I'm doing ads. I'm incorporating some ads from some partnerships we have with the race team because it's something else I can give back as a little value add. But yeah, I'm super excited. We are going to discuss the lifestyle section of the magazine next week. And is there anything you want to add for today, Lilla? I feel like I really...
Not that I can think of. No, it's fine. It's fine. Here's your support system right now. Yeah.
I like it. Any questions or just you want to hype us up? You want to give us a high five? You can find us at cocktailsmag_. That is where everything podcast and magazine related will be. I have tried to be very clear in the marketing and the promotional items and my words that I'm saying this is presented by Cocktails because I would like them to be related, but there were way too many magazines or podcasts called Cocktails. Way too many. But there were a couple that were shaken and stirred, but I just wasn't even letting that be a deterrent. We just plowing forward at this point.
We just pushing on.
Yeah, we just have to be the coolest of the group.
That's right.
The cream will rise. So I think that's it for now. But check us out. If you want to check out the website for the magazine is cocktailsmag.com. If you want to subscribe, you can do that now. I haven't advertised it yet, but everything should be ready for that to happen and occur. So yeah, check it out.
Look us up.
And we will be back next week.
Bye.